5 years ago, Pokemon Go was at its biggest peak since its launch in 2016. Everybody was playing, events were extremely fun and full, content was exciting and fresh. It was like a completely different game. But over the years, things have cooled down a bit. Events have felt more repetitive and less exciting. The key features have been nerfed, making gameplay less fun. Even major global events that used to be amazing feel a little less exciting. But I think it might all be changing. Today I have several key updates and changes that are coming to Pokemon Go to go over, one of which is completely game-changing, and that is Pokemon Go's official proposal service during GoFest Paris. Nobody send this video to Sid, alright? Let's keep this under wraps. I'm kidding. Well, sort of. That is definitely a thing that Pokemon Go is offering during GoFest Paris, which is just hilarious, but that's not the big update we're talking about today. The big news is this: updates to Pokemon Go's Shadow Raids and Max Battles. This is, man, my smile is a mile wide because, listen, you're gonna be annoyed that I'm gonna talk about this video. And don't worry, there's other things that we're talking about. It's not just about this. But if you've watched this channel for years, you've heard me complain for years. And if you're new here, just know this is something that I've talked about for literal years now. And it seems like finally, because Pokemon Go sold to a new company, we're seeing a change in the direction that I've wanted, and I know a lot of you have wanted, and I think that it is just the beginning. Okay, all right, so here's the deal. The TLDR is raid passes, specifically remote raid passes, are getting a update, and it's not a nerf, and it's permanent. And here's what it is. Starting with the Crown Clash Taken Over event on May 13th at 11 a.m., trainers can participate in Shadow Raids remotely using a remote raid pass. We saw this coming because during a recent Shadow Raid weekend, I think it was Ho-Oh, right? Remote raids were usable in Shadow Raids for the first time ever, right? That had never been allowed before, but for whatever reason, Pokemon Go finally allowed people to use remote raid passes in Shadow Raids. And I think they were testing it to see if it was actually a viable strategy to understand if they should bring that feature out permanently. And I'm sure plenty of people used the feature. I'm sure they saw Shadow Raid, interaction go up like crazy, because I know many of us don't really interact with Shadow Raids, especially the Shadow Legendary Raids, because most people just don't have people to raid with in person or don't have the time to go out and coordinate with the raid group. So Shadow raiding with remote raids makes the feature actually usable for a lot of people, and I'm sure they saw that, and now it's here. Because here's the big thing: this change will remain in effect after the conclusion of the event, and then Shadow Raids will count towards the daily limit of remote raids, which are also getting adjusted. Dude, this is like Christmas in May! Okay, so basically, remote raids can be used in Shadow Raids starting on May 13th, forever after that. So if you've watched legendary raids come by and you just couldn't get them because you just don't have people to raid with, or what have you, this is being fixed. And this is huge. And I want to give a big shout out to my Discord community. It's free, by the way, completely free to join. We have like a raid bot that works in there, and if you are looking for people to remote raid with, which I'm sure many of you will be after this update, which I can't wait for, use the Discord, use my Discord. Pokadaxi has a Discord. There's so many great Discord communities for online communities to connect and raid together. So take advantage of that, because we're back, baby. And there's more to this. But one thing, the reason why Pokemon Go was so alive 5 years ago is because of the changes that were made that enabled people to play from home and enjoy the full experience of the game. Now, I don't think that is going to fully come back, as in you can just stay at home and it's not it makes no difference sitting at home versus going and walking around. I think going outside and playing will always be a better experience than staying at home, which is fine. It's a mobile game that is all about going outside. Makes sense. But a big reason why the game was so fun, everybody was playing, was because remote raids were new, they were fun, and they were cheap and unlimited, And the moment that changed, when they nerfed the remote raids, the game took a very noticeable downhill. It was a much different game. It felt different. It played different. It wasn't as fun. And they're reversing it. And there's more. Because remote raid limits, listen to this, dude, starting on May 13th, again, at the beginning of this event, the daily remote raid limit will increase from 5 to 10, and this is the case. This is permanent going forward. Now, we have doubled the daily remote raid limit from 5 to 10, and that is a very, very big adjustment, because 5 remote raids in a day is a negligible amount. You need at least 20 raids in a day to get a legendary shiny Pokemon, so 5 is like nothing. And if you were a streamer like myself, or if you're somebody who likes to play and like really grind the game from home or while you're traveling, or if you can't just walk around and do raids, like remote raiding is great. But only being able to do 5 in a day, I don't know, there's something about the psychology of that just makes the whole feature not even worth using, for me personally, and I know many others. 10 in a day though, much different story, right? That's pretty good. And the remote raid pass limit is one of the biggest problems with the entire feature. Again, only being able to do 5 in a day just kind of like makes the feature pretty useless for most people. And there's a second side to this coin, which is the price, which I'll talk about. But from 5 to 10 is insane. That's big news. Even bigger news is that this maximum may be increased for special events, which we will see in a second. There's another update that's a part of this update that shows that happening. So just because the remote raid limit is now 10 per day doesn't mean it's going to stay there. We've already seen this happen for for past events over the last couple of months, where they either brought the remote raid limit up to 20 per day, or they made it infinite remote raids per day during big events like the Go Tour, which is insane. So like that already is happening, and that has already happened, and like I'm sure we'll see that in the future where the remote raid limit will double, or there will be no remote raid limit. I'm really hoping that the limit in general is completely removed at some point, and I think we're trending in the right direction. They're slowly but surely, step by step, undoing all these nerfs to like the best feature they've ever released, to hopefully bring the game back to a place to where it's actually like mad fun again, you know, and like we could grind it proper, because I think that's the fun part about Pokemon Go raids, is that it allows you to grind a very premium part of the game like from anywhere, you know what I'm saying, from home, from the toilet, from your friend's house, from a remote place of the world where there's no spawns around you. Like, it makes the game grindable for everyone everywhere, which is awesome. So the remote raid limit is increasing. I will say they are not adjusting the price to remote raids, and like, although I really hope they do, they might not. They might bring it down like a little bit, fingers crossed. I don't think they're gonna do that. And by the way, the reason why this is happening is because a company called Scopely acquired Pokemon Go from the previous developers, Niantic. Niantic was very focused on their mission and their company mission, which was basically forcing people outside to go like map the world, use AR, you know, do the outside thing, because the data that they were collecting from that was far more valuable than the money that they were getting from remote raid passes. So they didn't have any incentive really to like bring remote raid passes back. The only incentive they had was to like push people outside. The new people who own the game, Scopely, they bought the game for billions of dollars. They're kind of only here for money at this point, you know, so, and that's fine with me. As long as the game's fun and fair, that's fine with me. Make your money, you know, I hope you do, right? So that is why we're seeing this change, because they don't really care about AR or about, you know, the data that's farmed by going outside and exploring. I'm sure they do, and I'm sure they're using that at some level, but they care more about return on their investment of several $billion, which makes a lot of sense. And remote raids is the most lucrative, most profitable feature that has ever been released in Pokemon Go history, and it looks like they're trying to re-optimize the game for it, which I love. So hopefully, and Scopely, if you're watching this, listen, here's how to restore Pokemon Go to its former glory. Bring the price of remote raid passes down. You don't have to bring it down to its old price, because I guess it makes sense for it to be adjusted, whatever. But bring the prices down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Help us out. And then make the remote raid limit infinite. And absolutely make it infinite for the big events, like a max battle weekend, which we're going to talk about in a second, which is Gigantamax Machamp. So max battles starting on May 19th, trainers will be able to join max battles remotely by using a remote raid pass and the usual number of max particles. Boom! You can now remote raid max raids, which includes Gigantamax, because if they're doing this event right before a Gigantamax raid day, I'm going to assume that you could do it on Dynamax raids and Gigantamax raids, right? Like, that's why they said max battles. So that's big. For the first time ever, we could use remote raids on max raids. And a big thing with max battles, I like them. I think they're fun. The max battle raid days are like really impossibly hard to do, just because the max raid boss, Gigantamax raid bosses that is, are so hard to defeat. So unless you're like coordinating with people, or like there's no way to do it solo, you know? But if you're doing remote raiding, you can join a Discord with your friends, like a Discord call. You guys can coordinate. It's way easier. You can do it globally. You can raid in. Like, if you only have 2 friends who play, you can get those 2 friends in, and then you can use like my YouTube comment section to add a 3rd friend. Like, it makes the game and the feature so much more usable. I love it. And this will continue after the event. You can use remote raid passes on max battles after this event is over. So this is starting on May 19th, right? So Shadow Raids, May 13th, right? May 13th. Max raids May 19th. And there's a cool caveat. Basically, if you do a max battle in person, you're gonna get, more Premier Balls and more XP than before. So it's not like you're losing anything by doing a remote raid pass max battle, but you're gaining something by doing an in-person one, which I think is a perfect way to incentivize that. And then also the amount of max particles each player can hold is increasing from 1,000 to 1,500, which will make it way easier for all of us to complete more remote max battles, which is fantastic. And check it, the remote raid this is the limit increasing. The remote raid pass limit will be increased to 20 from Saturday, May 24th at 5 p.m. to Sunday, May 25th at 8 p.m., which means during the Gigantamax Machamp weekend, you can do 20 max battles on Saturday and on Sunday, which is awesome. 20 max battles. And that's the example of them increasing the remote raid pass limit during key events, which they've already done in the past. So that is fantastic. And I will say, for me personally, if they do end up completely removing the remote raid pass limit entirely from Pokemon Go, like it's back to infinite, I can't wait on the content front, because I could bring back certain raid series to the YouTube channel. I can create way crazier raid challenges for the channel, because I don't know if you've noticed, and I'll talk about this in a second, but I've been uploading less videos to this channel here, but I've been shooting for higher quality production and bigger challenges per video, and you're gonna keep seeing that going forward. Basically just trying to make like bigger and better and bigger and better videos, and unlimited remote raid passes would make that very easy. And also something that I could do again is go back to streaming on, now if this happens, we'll stream on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, we'll stream everywhere, X, stream all platforms if this happens. But if they bring back unlimited remote raid passes, like that's why I stopped streaming. A, because I wanted to focus more on the YouTube videos and travel, and B, because like there wasn't really anything to do except for PvP, and you know me, I'm not a big PvP person, whatever. So if they bring remote raid passes back infinitely, I'm back to streaming, baby. And we're grinding the freaking raids like we did before, and I can't wait. But either way, with 10 remote raids in a day, I'll be doing way more raids personally, especially with the new Catch 10 series that we're doing, the short form series where we catch 10 Pokemon every day until we get a Shundo. We'll do a lot more raid days. I don't know if you've watched the shorts lately, but like we launched a new series, it's been very fun. So this is gonna be very helpful for that. So if you wanna join my friends list, get on my personal friends list and do raids with me, whether it's me sending you raids or you sending me raids or whatever. I'm launching a new program that allows you to purchase a spot on my friends list for 3 months, where I can send you raids, you can send me raids, gifts, battles, all that kind of stuff, which is wonderfully timed with all of these remote raid increases and hopefully bigger ones in the future, because I'll be doing way more raids. And yes, this is a paid thing. Listen, 2 big reasons, okay? Reason number 1, it's business. And reason number 2, it allows myself to invest into the content, into the videos, into the studio. I'm sure you've noticed the background here, the camera quality here. We've made a lot of big improvements and investments into the home studio, which has been great. And as you'll see in a YouTube video that we're uploading this weekend, we've made some big investments into the general camera quality and quality of content moving forward. And as I've said, we're going to make myself and the team less videos at higher quality. We want to do bigger things, bigger challenges, bigger trips, bigger travel adventure stuff. We've got a huge summer coming up with Japan Go Fest. We got New Jersey Go Fest and Paris Go Fest. I'll maybe be at all 3 of them. So this new friends list program allows you to join the friends list, get raids, and like get access to like me and my account and like our battling kind of stuff, while also supporting the channel and helping us, myself, the team, reinvest into the team, into the content, into the travels, and into the brand. So again, link to that in the description. If you want to join my friends list, you get access to it for 3 months. And obviously, because there's only so many spaces on the friends list, it is, a pretty like limited program. There's only so many spaces in the program. So check it in the description. I'll see you on the friends list, and hopefully see you in one of these raids or one of my videos or a future event, because there's a lot happening, including Gigantamax Machamp Battle Day. This is happening on Sunday, May 25th from 2 to 5 p.m. local time, which is why we're gonna have 20 remote raids, which you can use in this Gigantamax Machamp Battle Day between Saturday and Sunday. So this is fantastic. Here are the event bonuses. Max particle collection limit increased to 1,600. All power spots will host Gigantamax battles with Machamp. Power spots will refresh more frequently. You get 8 times max particles from power spots and 2 additional special trades on the day, which is cool. And then on May 25th from 12 a.m. to 5 p.m. local time, we have some additional bonuses. 2 times max particles for exploring, and 1/4 adventure distance to receive max particles. So you can get them much easier just by like walking around. There's also a timed research from May 19th at 6 p.m. to May 25th at 5 p.m. that gives you Dynamax Beldum encounter, along with, I think, Candy and Max Particle. So Dynamax Beldum was going to be like one of your better counters against Machamp, from what I understand. So like this gives you a free encounter with that, which is great. There's also a $5 event ticket that gives you timed research that gives you 1 Max Mushroom and 25,000 XP. You'll also get 2 times XP for Max Battles. And what is this? Your Max Particle collection limit will be increased to 5,600. That's huge. And then Max Mushrooms will probably be pretty important during this. They just double the damage that your Max Pokemon are doing in the battle. So very nice. And that's not the only Dynamax news that we have. We actually have the Final Strike Go Battle Week event, which is going down from Wednesday, May 21st to Tuesday, May 27th. The next stage of the Might and Mastery Special Research will be unlocked, and we can evolve Kubfu to Urshifu for the first time ever. More specifically, Single Strike and Rapid Strike Urshifu. Here's how to evolve them. To get Single Strike, you need 200 Kubfu Candy, and you have to defeat 30 Dark-type Pokemon either in raids or max battles with Kubfu as your buddy. You don't need Kubfu in the raid, it just has to be your buddy when you defeat these. And then you can get Rapid Strike, the other Urshifu, with 200 Kubfu Candy, and then defeating 30 Water-type Pokemon in max battles or raids with Kubfu as your buddy. Event bonuses include 2 times XP for winning raid battles, increased chance to encounter Shiny Meditite, Shiny Stunky, and Shiny Mareanie, which is pretty cool. Also, once you complete the free timed research, so do this fast, you unlock 1 free extra raid pass per day. Pretty big. Wild encounters include Mankey, Seal, Galarian Zigzagoon, Meditite, Froakie, Dino, and Nickit in the wild as well. 2 very rare Pokemon, which can be shiny, which is great. As for the raids, the 1-star raids will have Carvanha, Stunky, and Mareanie. 3-star raids will have Lapras, Hisui and Samurott, and Bombardier. And then there's certain featured attacks that you can unlock during this event by evolving certain Pokemon, so here's those. You can evolve Mankey to get a Primeape with the charge attack Rage Fist, evolve Seal to get a Dugong with the fast attack Ice Shard, Zweilious to Hydreigon to get Brutal Swing, which is very good, Frogadier to Greninja to get Hydro Cannon, and Lapras that you get in raids and field research will know Ice Beam. So these are all very, very useful, very helpful, some Community Day exclusive moves, and ones that I'm sure are very useful in the Go Battle League. And there's a $2 paid time research that gives you 2 premium battle passes, 4 lucky eggs, 1 max particle pack, and encounters with Meditite, Stunky, and Mareanie, which are the boosted shinies. So that's pretty nice. And speaking of these 2 Pokemon, Rapid Strike and Single Strike Urshifu, how are they in Pokemon Go? Okay, so Rapid Strike is a fighting and water type with a max CP of 4,077, and remember, this will be a Dynamax Pokemon. Now, we do have Gigantamax, which are probably going to be better than any Dynamax, but this is a crazy Dynamax Pokemon. It's fighting and water, which is very, very useful. It's 4,077 CP, so it might also be useful both in PvP and in the raids. It's pretty good, like, at a glance. We'll have to see how it actually performs in-game, but that's pretty solid. And then Single Strike, same CP, 4,077 at level 50. It is a fighting and dark type Pokemon. Very cool combination. Probably going to be very useful in PvP. It might even be useful in the raid meta, which is becoming important again because the remote raid passes are getting fixed slowly but surely. And as a Dynamax Pokemon, I'm sure it will be useful as well. Oh, and for this month, the month of May, the Community Day Classic Pokemon has been announced. It's going to be Machop. This is on May 24th from 2 to 5 p.m. local time. Machop will spawn everywhere, boosted shiny rates, 1 in 25. You can evolve to a Machamp that gets to move Payback. And the event bonuses during this include 3 times Catch Stardust during the event. Lure modules and incense will last for 3 hours. And then you can do snapshot surprises for more encounters, I'm assuming, with Machop. So, is Pokemon Go coming back in a very big way? I hope so, and I hope to see you in the next video this weekend, which is going to be an insane adventure. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.